Hey everybody, it's me. I got an interesting email and it made me think. So I thought I would share it with you and, get you guys' brains kind of racking. Why do we press harder on the remote control when we know the batteries are getting dead? I think maybe it's because if we push harder, it'll work. If we push harder, it'll work? Like the batteries will kick in or something? Granted, that doesn't really make any sense, but that's the best conclusion I can come up with. Everybody does it. The batteries are starting to die. What do? You push it harder and harder and harder. Not going to make it work any better. The batteries are still dying. It's not like you can recharge the batteries by going, push harder, push harder. I don't think it works like that. Next question. Why does someone believe you when you say there are 4 billion stars, but check when you say the paint is wet? Is there 4 billion stars? You can't count all the stars. But saying there's 4 billion stars, or there's a million pounds of snow on the ground because it's snowing outside, but I don't know. Maybe they just agree with you because you're using it as a figurative speech, there's a lot. But maybe they think you're lying when you say that the paint is wet. Maybe they're thinking, well, maybe I'll just check, make sure the paint's actually wet. Because you do that. Someone says, don't touch it, it's hot. What do? First thing you do is you touch it. You just have to touch it. You make sure that it's hot. Make sure they're not lying, right? It is a little weird. I love this question. This is one of my favorite questions. Why do they sterilize needles for death by lethal injection? You're killing them. So why use a sterilized needle? Is it for the person who's doing it? No, because they use gloves, right? Maybe they don't want the people who they're killing to catch a disease. Not that, it'll really matter because they're dying anyways. That's a silly question. Because you're killing the person, right? It's not like they're going to catch some disease in the 2 seconds that they're going to live. That's a really silly question. I think it's ridiculous. But I don't really think that they should use the dirty needles either. Why does Superman stop bullets with his chest, but ducks when you throw a revolver at him?
Maybe it's an instinct.
An instinct. You know how you throw something at somebody, first reaction is to duck, right? Because it's gonna hurt. Does Superman feel pain? Because if he does, then maybe he knows that when you throw something at him and it's gonna hurt, so he goes and he ducks out of the way. Why do kamikaze pilots wear helmets? Now, kamikaze pilots, that's the ones who do suicide missions, right? Maybe they want to stay safe until they die. Make sure they don't die until they're supposed to. Waste money. Have the government, spend money on safety equipment when they don't really need it. You know how the government is, always wasting money on stuff. Well, I don't think they're always wasting money on everything, but a lot of things they waste money on. I don't know. Whose idea was it to put an S in the word lisp? Because, the people who have lisps, they can't use an S. They can't say their S's. The S out of lisp, it'd be lip. L-I-P, lip. And that just doesn't make sense. Maybe, is it the lip that makes it so you can't say your S's? Or is it, your tongue or something? I
Actually, I think it's like a brain malfunction. Like, a part of your brain tells you that you can't say a certain letter. Is there people who can't say M? Is it just an S that people can't say? Or is there people who can't say other letters? Like, people who can't say mountain or candy. Maybe there's people who can't, instead of saying candy, say sandy. It's like a backwards list. People who can only say S's. That'd be pretty funny. If people evolved from apes, why are there still apes? That's a good question. Because I believe in evolution. Like, that we evolved from apes and, you know, all that. Because I'm not a religious person. So maybe the apes that are left are the ones who can evolve. Like, they're missing that gene that makes it so you can evolve. That wouldn't make any sense, because if you evolved from apes, that would mean there wouldn't be any apes left, right? Like, or maybe the apes that we evolved from were a different kind of ape. Gene of ape. Because, you know, we have like chimps and, you know, gorillas and stuff like that. Well, maybe the ape that humans came from is a whole different kind. Like chimps and gorillas. Because obviously a gorilla isn't the same thing as a chimp, because chimps are smaller than gorillas. Why is it that no matter what color bubble bath you use, the bubbles are always white? Maybe the people at the bubble bath factory only like the color white and use the other ones for different, like, the different colors, just to make you think that the bubbles are going to be a different color. But, you know, I have seen bubble baths where the bubbles were a different color. And, you know, I think that the only reason why the bubbles look white is because you can see through them, right? And, you know, everything, anytime anything foams, it's white. Maybe foam and bubbles can only be one color. Maybe bubbles and foam can only be one color. Like, they're not allowed to be a different color. Why do people constantly return to the refrigerator with hopes that something new to eat will have materialized? Well, I can answer that question. It's like the same reason why the first thing I do when I go into the kitchen is look in the fridge. I don't grab anything all the time. I just look to make sure, you know, to see what's in there. Even though I just looked like 5 seconds ago. Like, I can go from this room into the kitchen, and then I'll have to look in the fridge. But if I go to the bathroom and I come back out in the kitchen, I'll have to look in the fridge again. And obviously nothing has changed. Maybe you're hoping that because you're wishing that there's something in there, like whatever you're craving, maybe you think that your wishing will make it just appear, like your magic. That would be awesome, because then you could have whatever you wanted all the time. Cool. Because, like, right now, we don't have any ice cream here. But I'm not allowed to eat ice cream. I just like looking at it because it's so fatty. I just like looking at it. But we don't have any because I'm not buying it. And I wish I could just open up the freezer and just look at the ice cream. But not, like, touch it. That would be cool.